this one guy got really excited. We're in there and we're talking about, we're getting real with each other, talking about, who we really are, and this one guy, he just goes, oh, this is so good. Not like those other Christian groups, they always talk about that narrow way, the narrow way. Well, life isn't narrow. And everybody's waiting for me to correct him, right? But I wanted to hear the rest of what he had to say. And finally, when he was done, his name was Rick, and I said, Rick, I know exactly what you mean. And everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said, but what you're calling the narrow way is what we call legalism. And Jesus came to refute that. He didn't like it either. There is a narrow way that the Bible talks about, okay, but it's all about love. And so we started talking about that, okay? And so that night, was when we really came up with the idea, and it came from Jan. She said, Larry, why don't we call this Off Broadway? Because we're taking people off of the Broadway and pointing them to the narrow way. And it was awesome. I look at some of the families that we've helped, and we don't see them all today. This ministry is, God gave us I consider it a gift to be able to reach out to people that are what we call stuck in the mud. And stuck in the mud people are not the kind that you're going to talk to and have them just change their lives like that. It's just not going to happen. It takes time, and we give them that time, and we work really, really hard to try to, get to know them and get to know their needs and get to know their families. We've been able to reconcile many with their families. We've been able to connect a lot of them with different churches. And so we're not out trying to build a kingdom or trying to build a church. We're out to build the church, but not a church. And what happens is the ones that are greatest successes end up someplace else. And so we don't see them until every once in a while when they come back around. I'm excited about the women's home off Broadway. We have gone into drug houses. We've gone, into the gang, to meet with the gangs, and we came to a place where we were dealing with so many women that off Broadway basically came to a standstill because we needed to get this women's house going. We needed to have some place to be able to put the women, and there weren't enough places in Spokane. There weren't. I don't know if there ever will be enough places in Spokane. But we needed a place that when we, at 2 o'clock in the morning, ran into a woman or somebody who had no place to go, and there's no place open or no place that has a bed, we would have a place to be able to put her where it isn't one of our men that has to babysit them. Okay, and so we now have that home, the women's home, and I'm so excited about it because once that women's home is established, then that means that we can go back into the gang areas, into the drug houses, and we can start making a difference. We stopped doing that part of it about 2 years ago, and now we've got this women's home, and we still have need, but it's getting there. It's almost complete. I'm excited because once we up to that point right there, we were able to be used by God to shut down 9 different drug houses. 2 of them moved, and the other 7 have all changed. Okay, and so our goal is to impact them to such a point that the ones that are running the house have changed lives so that they find Jesus Christ. That's our real goal. We have things that we have to do in order to be able to get back on track with that, and one of them is this women's home. I learned that there were people that have been prayer walking these streets for over 20 years. Okay, those are the real pioneers of what we're experiencing today, and I don't know. I know that what God really wants for us to do is just to find out whatever it is that He specifically wants each one of us. We could try to duplicate this ministry in other places and fail miserably, do everything exactly the same and fail miserably, because that might not be what God wants us to do there. Each place is different, and God responds differently. And so it's only for us to get on our knees and say, Lord, what would you have us do?